Hello everyone. So wow, it's so good to be back, and wow, has it been an amazing few weeks. I feel like my creativity has just soared. I've spent a lot of time working in the studio, a lot of time with my grandson, and just a lot of time reflecting and writing in my journal. Just working on some new pieces of art. So it has really been a beautiful time period of reflection and renewal. And thank you guys so much for just encouraging me to take this little sabbatical, and all your love and well wishes sent to me. And yeah, I am just ready to jump back in, do a lot of sharing, and let's just make it happen. And for those of you who don't know, I'll make sure I put the link below, but I've created another Facebook mini workshop. These Facebook minis are designed to spend about an hour and a half together, looking at one aspect of a technique or a concept that will then get expanded more fully into a workshop, a larger workshop. But these intensive are just amazing. The first one we did, we had so much fun. You guys had so many walkaways, and this was one that was requested from the first one. So this one is called The Secrets of the Coded Script. I'm gonna share with you techniques that I use to create coded script, things that you can actually reproduce in your work and put over and over and over again, and only you be the one who had the code to it unless you shared it with someone. So you can say so much and talk about so much and put important things in your work that, like, you will be the only one who really knows what it's saying, but yet the power is still there in the exchange of symbols and ideograms. So that's coming up on the 26th. This is coming Friday. It's just $25, but if you're at all interested in that kind of thing, jump in, and we have a lot of fun. And speaking of script, this particular spread is so much about the exchange of script in my work. So this first image here is from the new stamps in my collection, in the Art Foamies collection. And this was one that I just off-stamped on my workspace, and it just got built up with a lot of off-stamping and overspraying and everything that happens on the work surface, which is why I like to put just white drawing paper down on my work table. And then I work from that. And this piece really just stood out to me when I was getting ready to work on the journal here. So I ripped it off of the piece that, was down with all the other oversprayings, some other stamps, and, you guys, a lot of you have these stamps now and are working with them, and thank you so much. So I went on and tore that out and placed it down on the page, and really just in itself, I just thought it was just a beautiful finished image. We had been working with a lot of fabric at the workshop, the live workshop we had here in Arizona. Hey to all of you guys who came from all over United States to hang out with me in Arizona. That meant so much to me. So thank you guys. And I know many of you are sitting right here in our live chat. And it just meant the world to me to meet all of you all and just have you guys love on me and me love on you. It was just amazing. So, but we used a lot of fabrics in that one. And the upcoming masterclass that I have in September, which is going to be just in a couple of weeks now, we'll be using fabrics to not only gel print on, but we will be doing encaustic wax on them as well. So there are going to be some rich pages that we're going to work into book structures. So these are just bits and bobs of fabric from the workshop. This was gifted to me by Gypsy, who visited here from New Mexico, and she had found this when she was thrifting and gave me a chunk of it. I just love it. It just has this batik look to it, and I had a piece laying around when I was working on this page, so I wanted to put it in there. So this piece made like a pocket, but sort of my style of journaling, right? Where it doesn't necessarily look like a pocket, it just looks like a piece of textile, but it gives you that opportunity to have some extra stuff textural materials on your work. And then there was another piece that we had in the workshop. That little piece was laying around as well, so I liked it, and I just kind of put it on this side of the flip, stapling it, and it works in nicely with this previous spread. On this side, this was already a part of the page that I was working up on, and I really liked that mark making. Plus, I liked the 𝐒𝐢𝐠𝐧 staining mark that happened here between using coffee, rain stain papers, and 𝐒𝐄𝐖𝐒𝐋𝐄𝐓𝐓𝐄𝐑 and some black tea. I really liked what I was left with, so I didn't want to cover all of it up. But, you know, we got to make something on the page. So I first put down some scraps of the brown wax paper that I do a lot of staining and what have you on, and it had some of the gold 𝐒𝐄𝐖𝐒𝐋𝐄𝐓𝐓𝐄𝐑 ink on there. Like, it was very subtle. Thought it worked in nicely with this piece here. The colors worked well, and so I just glued that down entirely just to add some extra texture. I really like gluing down this wax paper. You've seen me do this before. We've done it elsewhere here in the journal, and it's just amazing at how beautifully, and not only it goes down, but it really sticks. It really stays. So I liked that bit. And then I had this was a leftover from a gel print. So actually this piece of paper was taken from a photo transfer. You can sort of see the extra there. So that was a photo transfer. I never throw those papers away, to be honest with you, because it's got all kind of paint on it. And then I think I came back and did a stencil using my iStencil script over top of it, using some white paint. I think this paint I did this piece a while back, but I believe I just watered the white paint down with a little bit of alcohol. So I like using alcohol because it'll water things down. So you see, you'll get this neat sort of runny look, but it won't be too overly runny because it dries so quickly that the alcohol will absorb out. And so that I had that strip left over, so I thought I'd just go ahead and make what's called a belly band, but I really don't use them like that because I find things fall out unless you kind of flap them over like we did here with one of those cards that I put in. We did kind of a flap with it like this. You do something like this, it'll have a tendency to stay in. You know, you have to kind of wrap it. But I find if you just put something in like this, for me, it falls out. But I really did this more as a decorative element. So you could hinge something like that in there, but it was just decorative. I could have made it a pocket, but I decided not to. I just wanted to put an element there. So it's more free floating. And I'd say that it's more sort of decorative than it is functional, though it could be made functional. But I like the paper underneath it, so I didn't want to lose being able to see that staining and what have you. So that's the reason why I didn't actually totally, you know, secure it. So then the next signature that I worked on was more of the same stained paper, but I had some prints that they just were off prints that I kind of really cleaned my stencils off onto, and I just made a lot of rich texture. And then I think I even kind of balled it up and used it to kind of daub up paints and stuff. So that's where you get this really kind of random pattern. So I glued that down, and then this is a piece of paper that I've had for a while, and I you know, coffee stained and tea stained this one, but I did it outside, so it was kind of a part of the rain stained pieces. So it got a really rich texture, and this piece has been floating around, not quite sure where to put it. So I put it here, and I really liked it. I thought that it was a nice kind of juxtaposition from my stenciled image, printed image, in this piece here. And it kind of introduced some of the green that's been floating through our journal. I'm not really a big green person, but you know, we had this green floating around, and I felt like it really brought together that color palette throughout. So I thought it was a nice place to kind of be able to stick that in there. This flap is similar to the flap that we worked here earlier. It's actually the back side of that same flap. And so what I did here is I covered, this is where the sort of the red was. I covered it because I wanted to put this vintage music paper down. And I really didn't want that sort of red laying next to this green. I sort of like this sort of mono and just color palette and just kind of the introduction of that one color. So I put that down, and then I had a piece of tissue that had, I had used to actually sort of daub up ink off of my gel plate and sort of clean it. And I always keep that stuff because you get such neat random marks. And then there's some gold in there you can see. Let me see if I can get it to catch the light, the gold here. So that little random bit went down really nicely, and I like that. The back side, I wanted to keep the staining. So this piece was a bit of an off stamping, same as it was on this piece as well. You can see that whole sheet. In the cutaways. So I liked that. And I sort of like because when you flip it, you see the top half of this. So that black on white sort of mimics itself there. And a bit of that random color is just kind of hanging around. So I really like that. And then on this piece, you know, I have a tendency to really keep this Asian paper staining that happened in the very beginning that I had used as base papers. I really don't like covering that up because I think it makes a consistent flow throughout the book. Throughout the book, you're going to get those bits and pieces. So I like to leave some of it. So here again, I felt like this bluey kind of color offsets the green here tone. At the same time, it has that pink background. And so I had some of this paper that I had coffee stained some pages on top of, and those pages sort of bled in on top of this, and I really like the way that happened. This is also some fabrics that we painted. This is like a cotton linen fabric. You can see the texture is really beautiful on it. But this is a piece that we had, because we did a bit of fabric printing, gel printing on fabric at the workshop. And this was a larger piece I had. And then I off-stamped one of my stencils, not stencils, but the art foamy stamp on here using the fountain pen ink. And so I ripped a bit of that because I felt like the pinks really worked nicely together, and pink offsetting the green versus like a red. I liked that a lot. And so we'll be doing a lot of this kind of printing in the upcoming gel printing on fabrics and encaustics. So that workshop is primarily going to be all the kind of techniques that I use to print on fabric. And I figured some out that really gives a nice successful print, you know, without like losing and compromising your print. And then we'll be doing some wax on top of that, which I'm so excited about. Here are some These are just some small pieces on cardboard of just beeswax on used on board, and it's amazing how much you can actually integrate into the beeswax without stamping. You know, we're not without using glue. These are pieces. Oftentimes I'll make these. They're just on mat board, and then they'll become pieces that I can glue on the front of a book. I can continue to embellish. So these are just base pieces. This is a gel print. These are all gel prints. This is a gel print. This isn't. This is just 𝐒𝐢𝐠𝐶 on paper. But even the thicker fabrics can go in here. So this type of thing we will be doing on fabric. We'll also be doing it on board so that you can build up a collage that then could actually be put on the front of our fabric book. So that's the concept behind the workshop. So it's a lot of freedom in it because the individual elements you'll be able to make collage art, just building up three-dimensional collage art. At the same time, our finished structure using a book, as much as we all love books, working with fabrics, our gel plate, it's really using the gel plate as a different mixed media tool to create really rich, lush books. And we're simply going to be working just with the beeswax, which is just a beautiful product. And you know, it's like a natural beeswax candle. It's really yummy smelling as well. So let's see. So I wanted to show you that because this right here really reminds me of the kind of printing we'll be doing. And then all of those art foamies, stamps of mine that you guys have picked up, we'll be stamping into the fabric with the fountain pen inks. They bleed beautifully into the fabrics. There's just so much you can do. I'm just so excited to share that process with you all. So there's also a link for that workshop below here. It's a 3-part masterclass. So literally there'll be 3 sessions to this, and then there's always a follow-up session about a month later where you can come in, ask me more Q&As, show me what you've done, any challenges you have. We can work them through these master classes where they're a little bit more. There are 4 full sessions there. Well, this one will be. There's a lot of time to ask me questions and to jump in and show me what you've done. And it's not like I'm just doing a class, showing you cute little techniques and then sort of leaving you. No, we're not doing it like that at all. And they've really been successful, these master classes. I feel like so many people have had amazing walkaways. And all of you who've taken my master classes so far say you really, really love this format. You find it's a unique way to interact with, you know, your teacher, and at the same time, really go deeper yourself. So I wanted to show you that because this is a good representation of that. So there we are with some more pages in our cabinet of curiosities. I really like how I think this spread is just so moody. How this is working out, and we're finishing this up so beautifully. And I'm glad that so many of you guys also enjoyed the box of curiosities that went up in the interim. And, you know, at first I wasn't going to put anything up, and then I was talking with my team, and I have so much material. That one I did over on Patreon like 3 years ago, maybe longer. And it also gives you an idea of the kind of stuff that we do in Patreon. So if you've been on the fence, not quite sure, thinking, well, I'm getting a lot over here on YouTube, and I do give you guys a lot on YouTube. I give a whole lot more too because we have more time to go deeper. That particular series that my daughter edited was actually over, I think, about 8 or 9 sessions, and she condensed that into something that was shorter, and it also made, you could still actually follow it and get the box done. But I do a lot of stuff like that over on Patreon. So kind of gives you a feel for what's going on over there. And that one would be at the $25 level. So just for $25 a month, you're getting at least 4 videos a month, sometimes more, that are focused around very intense projects. So anyhow, just wanted to say, and so many of you said how much you loved it. You were working on it. You guys were making your boxes. You were grabbing vintage or various cigar boxes that you could find and that kind of thing. So that really made me happy to know that that was something that you valued and you could really get, really have a nice walk away with that. So anyway, yay. So we're back. Enjoyed hanging out with you as always, and let's just keep it moving in our journals. We're going to finish this up over the next, probably by the end of September, we'll have this done, and I have lots of more books and different projects I'm working on that I'll be sharing with you all, and we'll just keep moving along here. Alrighty, guess that's it for now. Love you guys so much. Please hit the subscribe button if this is you're new to my channel, the first time you're popping on over here. Hit the all button so you'll get all the notifications. We meet every Saturday here on a live premiere and we hang out and just chat it up, so you're invited to come and do the same. Also, please hit the thumb up button saying that you like the video. That also pushes it out and it allows more people to find our channel, join our community, and hang out. So that's it for now. So much love from me to you guys, and happy creating. And until next Saturday, just enjoy yourselves. Alrighty, bye-bye.